Hi there, my name is Megan Doherty. I'm a guidance counselor at Austin as well as a teacher, and we wanted to put this information up for all the adults and parents and guardians of our grade 8 students at our feeder schools that are attending Austin next year. We had a presentation last week on Thursday evening, and we have another one this week on Tuesday evening at 6:30. We would love for you to join us. If you're unable to, this abbreviated version of our presentation should be helpful and should give you the key information that you need to know as you prepare your children for Austin. The first part of our presentation focuses on the culture of Austin. We'll go through some of the key supports that are available for students, sports teams, clubs, unique programs, and uniform. Austin has several support staff members to support your child as they're working their way through high school. So our principal's name is Miss Denime. We have two vice principals, Miss Kettrick and Mr. Longo, and they work with students based on their surnames. So Miss Kettrick works with students whose surnames begin with A to L, and Mr. Longo works with students whose surnames begin from M to Z. Our chaplain's name is Miss Youssef. We have a student success teacher. Her name is Miss Gaindo, and she is there to support students who are at risk or are struggling for whatever reason. We have a program support department that supports our students on IEPs and those with modified programs, and the chair of that department is Miss Pye. We have an intermediate guidance counselor named Miss Bryan, and she works with students as they transition from grade 8 into grade 9. She's already been into the grade 8 classrooms and is connected with all of your children. And our guidance counselors at Father Austin include Mr. Frawley, who is the chair of the department, Miss Malkin, and myself, Miss Doherty. Austin has a lot of great sports teams that students can participate in. So we have basketball, fastball, tennis, cross country, golf, volleyball, baseball, soccer, hockey, lacrosse, rugby, curling, badminton, and track and field. And not all of them require students to try out. Some of these teams students can just join. And of course, we always recommend that grade 9s try something new, try something they haven't done before. So even though your child may have never curled before, it doesn't mean they can't come out and try for the curling team. Or just because they've never played golf before doesn't mean they shouldn't come out and give that one a try as well. If your child isn't really excited about sports but wants to join some clubs, we've got lots of great options there as well. We have a badminton club for students who want to play badminton but don't want to try out for a team. We have a concert band and jazz band. We have a Harry Potter club, a fitness club. We've got lots of great fitness equipment that students can use, a guitar club, a mental health club. A new one that we're just getting off the ground this year is our Black Student Union. We have White Pine Reading Group. We have a prom committee for students to plan their own prom in grade 12. We have a Reach for the Top trivia team. We have retreat leaders to support our religion retreats. We have a social justice club, a multicultural club, a student athletic association, and of course, student council. And grade 9s can get involved in student council right away. We always have 2 grade 9 reps that are the voice of grade 9s on student council. So that's an opportunity for grade 9s as soon as they arrive. Austin has a lot of really great unique courses and programs that we offer. Our SHISM programs, our specialist high-skilled major programs, include our arts. We have a new one, nonprofit, business, and auto. Those ones we'll talk to the students about once they get here in grade 9 because it's not something that applies until grade 11. We have a photography course. We have UP Math, which is Ultimate Potential Math. I'll talk about that in a later slide. We have equity studies. We have fashion, focused on theater fashion. We have film studies. We have musical theater performance-based and musical theater production-based. We have religion through the arts. We have a basketball and a combatives course in our phys ed department. We have robotics. We have dance. We have genocide and crimes against humanity, and we're the only school on the board that offers that. We have French immersion programs, and we also have leadership and peer mentoring for grade 12s. Just like all secondary schools in our board, Austin is a uniform school. So you can see here, there's some pictures of some of the uniforms. So the tops, you can see some of the options here are golf shirts and sweatshirts and sweaters, and we have vests as well. And for the bottoms, students can choose pants or kilts, and there's also shorts for those seasons that are a little bit warmer. We do have a winter uniform requirement where students have to wear one of the uniform sweaters. All the uniform items can be purchased through McCarthy's, mccarthyuniforms.ca. This slide shows you the McCarthy webpage where students purchase their uniforms. So you can see I've started typing in Father Leo J. Austin, and once I do that, it would populate with all of the Austin options. There are shoes and bags on there. You do not need to purchase those from McCarthy's. It is important to note, though, that students do need to have a fully black shoe when they come in grade 9. It has to be a shoe. It can't be a slipper or a moccasin or a boot. It needs to be black shoes. They can be running shoes or dress shoes, but they need to be shoes and they need to be fully black. McCarthy also allows the opportunity for students to book an appointment and to go in and get fitted for their items. So that's something that you can consider as well. Otherwise, you can just order online and it will be sent to your house. The next section of our presentation looks at how to plan for next year. So what we need to know before we choose our courses for grade 9. So before students graduate for an Ontario Secondary School diploma, they need to have 30 credits. And for each of those credits, they need to have at least 50% to earn that credit. There are 18 compulsory or required credits, and there are 12 electives or choice credits. Students also need to pass the OSSLT, the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test, in grade 10, and they need to complete 40 hours of community service before they graduate. This slide shows the secondary school plan in terms of selecting courses. So if you look in grade 9, all the courses are already loaded. So students have to take religion, English, math, science, geography, French, phys ed, and they get one elective. You'll see the blue highlighted courses highlight the electives and how many electives students get to choose. So in grade 9, they get one elective. In grade 10, they get 2 electives, and so on. By the time they get to grade 12, there's many more electives that they can choose based on their interests and their pathway. You can also see the yellow is highlighting the French immersion program. So in grade 9, if your student is in French immersion, they will be taking religion, geography, French immersion, and phys ed, all in French. And then in grade 10, religion, history, there's the option to take civics and careers, and of course, French immersion again. So it just shows you the bigger plan for students as they're working their way through high school. These are the grade 9 electives that students get to choose from. So we have grade 9 visual arts, that's painting, drawing, sketching, and so on. We have grade 9 drama. We have grade 9 instrumental music, and Austin has a really great collection of instruments. We have grade 9 vocal music. We have grade 9 business, information and communication technology and business. That's an introduction to that Microsoft package. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint. It's a great foundation course. And then we have exploring technologies, and that course is divided into 2 major sections. So the first part is exploring in the auto shop. You get some of the fundamentals of auto, and then you get to explore the wood shop and some of the fundamentals of wood shop. You also get a small introduction to some of the really cool computer programs that students can work with. So some great options for grade 9s. So our next section is understanding course selection, how to choose the courses that are appropriate for your son or daughter. There are 4 different pathways or levels that students can choose from in grade 9. There's open, locally developed, applied, and academic, and I'll go through what each of those look like. Locally developed is a level where students learn only the most essential concepts of a subject. So students learn best with teacher direction and instruction to accommodate learning needs and complete small activities. These tend to be very small classes with a very limited number of students, and they get a lot of one-on-one support from the teacher. These are students who still need to work on improving basic literacy and numeracy skills, and their learning skills require consistent practice and reinforcement from the teacher. Students may be working on a modified program, the students that are in a locally developed class. The applied level is one where the students learn the essential components of a subject. The emphasis is on practical application and hands-on application. Students tend to enjoy collaborative learning, so working together, getting up, moving around, that kinesthetic learning approach. Students prefer discussions and teacher-guided learning as well as real-life application, so how you're learning something and how it applies to the world around you. Usually in the level 2 to 3 range in grade 7 and 8 is where they're sitting at in terms of achievement, and they should still expect some homework. The academic level is where students learn the essential components of a subject and then explore other outside related material. So they take it a little bit further. The emphasis is on theory and abstract thinking. Students enjoy visual and auditory learning styles. Students have a commitment to independent learning, so they can take their learning home and continue it at home on their own independently. They usually are sitting in the level of 3 to 4 range in grade 7 and 8, and they should expect regular homework. Every night there will likely be homework. Not all courses have pathways and levels, but the ones that do are science, English, geography, and French. And those are the ones where you will have to choose applied, academic, and in some cases locally developed. So what they actually look like, I'll give you a couple of examples. In the science program, in every level, they do labs and they do test work. But in the academic level, more of the mark emphasis is on those tests and less of it is on those labs. In the applied level, there's more emphasis on those labs because you're up, you're moving. It's a kinesthetic learning, and less emphasis is on the test writing. In the locally developed program in science, almost all of the work and all of the mark is generated based on in-class learning. So those labs are a major part of those marks. In English, another example would be in academic English, students might write a literary analysis essay on Romeo and Juliet, where they're learning how to use MLA and quotation integration and 5-paragraph essays. In the applied program, they are still reading Romeo and Juliet, but they're writing opinion pieces, supported opinion pieces, which they are then structuring into essays. But it's a different task at the end of very similar curriculum. There's also open level courses, and these are designed for all learners. So courses in grade 9 that are open are phys ed and religion, and then all of the elective courses, arts, tech, and business. This slide breaks down course codes. So here you can see this is English, grade 9, applied. The course codes are important for you to know because you have to navigate them as you're selecting courses. So the first 3 letters there, the red, ENG, tells us the subject. So E indicates that it's English. The blue tells us the grade, so 1 is grade 9 course. The P is the important part. This is the one that you're really going to want to make sure that you're careful with. So in grade 9, the applied, you can see there, is P. D indicates that it's an academic course. L indicates that it's a locally developed course, and O indicates that it's open. And the last number you don't need to worry too much about. Usually it'll just end in a 1, and that indicates that it's a typical course. So you'll notice that math has not come up as either streamed courses or as open. And that's because starting in September of this coming school year, grade 9 math is being combined or de-streamed. So there is no longer an applied and academic math. They are together in one course with the code MTH1W1. There is still a grade 9 locally developed math that is available. And we have something else called UP math or ultimate potential math. And that's for students who struggle with confidence in math and have a few learning gaps that they want to close before they take their math credit. So UP math is based on teacher recommendations. So the grade 8 teachers will work with the guidance counselors to select students that we think would benefit best from this program. And they have UP math first semester. And then they work with ideally the same teacher in second semester to get their grade 9 credit. So it's a great program to build confidence and help students be successful in math. So there's a lot of things that you should consider when selecting the course level for your child and with your child. So the first thing is learning skills. Learning skills are talked a lot about in grade 8, so your child should have a good understanding of where their learning skills are the strongest. You want to consider achievement levels in grades 7 and 8. You want to consider learning style. This is probably the most important thing to consider. Is your child a strong kinesthetic learner or are they a strong auditory and visual learner? Of course, you want to think about destinations, apprenticeship, college, university, workplace. Where is it that your child wants to go when they're done high school? It's important to know that it's really hard to determine that at this point, and it should not be the only thing guiding your decision. Grade 8 teacher recommendations are really important to consider. Your grade 8 teacher works very closely with your child, so they have some really great insights. And of course, a family discussion. It's really important that everybody be on the same page when making these choices. This slide highlights the fact that there's lots of different routes to get to a final destination. We really want you to think about choosing courses based on the type of learner that your student or that your child is now, rather than who you think they will be in 5 years or who they may be in 5 years. Students who are excited and in the right levels and are confident are the ones who tend to be the most successful in grade 9. When you're selecting courses with your child for grade 9, you're going to be using a program called My Blueprint. Miss Bryan has already been in the schools in the grade 8 classes talking to the students about My Blueprint and is helping them navigate it. My Blueprint is a really, really great program. You can see under the grade 9 panel that's highlighted there, you can see that all the courses are already in there: English, math, science, French. You just need to go in and select the correct level for your child. At the bottom, you can see there's course and then alternate. So the course tells you which elective. You can select which elective you want to put in there. And then the alternates are backup options. So if they don't get into their first choice elective, what are their next choices? My Blueprint is pretty foolproof. It's a really great program.
If you look on the far left, another great thing I want to point out is you can see under home it says who am I, and that has a ton of surveys and opportunities for students to learn about who they are as a learner if they don't have a good grasp of that right now. So that's a really great tab that I encourage you to explore with your child. All students at Austin are required to pay a student activity fee of $75, and this is at all of the high schools across the board. You are in grade 8 going to pay that to your elementary school, and they will pass it to us for the grade 9 year. So you're going to be paying that through cash online. The student activity fee is used to defray the cost of a student ID card, all retreats, the yearbook, awards and subsidies that students get throughout their high school time, guest speakers, combination locks. All grade 9s are given a Dudley combination lock when they arrive, so you don't need to purchase that. School spirit events, and so on. The course selection process through My Blueprint and the student activity fee are both due Friday, February 19th. When you select the courses on My Blueprint, you're going to have to hit a button that says Submit. When you hit that Submit button, you will have a digital copy of those courses sent to a parent email. And only once that email is opened and signed off do we actually get the course selection information. And only once the course selection information is confirmed and the student activity fee is submitted by Friday, February 19th, that's the point that we start timetabling. So please make sure you get it in by that day. There is no rush to get it in before. It all sits in a holding tank until Friday, February 19th, when we pull it out and start working with it. If you need more support and help through the timetabling process, you can reach out to Miss Bryan, the intermediate guidance counselor. She's already been in touch with your kids, and she's already been in touch with all the parents through EDSB. And of course, you can also reach out to your child's grade 8 teacher. So thank you for joining me today through this presentation. Again, we encourage you to join our presentation tomorrow night at 6:30. That's Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. The Zoom link will be sent out tomorrow morning, and we would love to see you. At that point, we can answer questions as well, and we have a couple additional resources that we'll be able to show you in that presentation. Otherwise, thank you so much, and we really look forward to meeting Austin's class of 2025.